Today we're going to put LeBron and Michael Jordan in the same draft class and see who would end up having the better career, who would have more MVPs, who would have more championships. Today we're going to go ahead and find out, so let's get right into it. So I decided to start the simulation off by simulating the 83-84 season so that we get to the 1984 draft, the year Michael Jordan was drafted. So you see we simulated through the whole season, and the Chicago Bulls ended up having the worst record in the NBA, and the Los Angeles Lakers ended up winning the NBA championship. So now here we are in the lottery, and the Bulls end up getting the second pick, but I would end up giving the third pick to the Cavaliers so that we can draft LeBron to the Cavs. And then I decided to stay true to the 84 draft and draft Hakeem number 1 and Michael Jordan number 2. And then this year in 84, LeBron is going number 3. 18-year-old LeBron here in 1984. So as you can see, Hakeem, Jordan, and LeBron went 1, 2, 3, with Charles Barkley going number 4. So in an absolutely insane draft class. And here are the Bulls here in 1984. You see you got Michael Jordan, Theus, Greenwood, and a couple other people. And then for LeBron, he got World B. Free, Robertson, and a couple other people. I honestly don't know who they are. So now we're simulating through the 84 season. You see the Bulls are off to a pretty rough start to start off the year, but the Cavs, on the other hand, would end up having a great year and winning 54 games, with Magic winning MVP and LeBron taking home Rookie of the Year, averaging 24 and 5 in his first year. And also LeBron make first team All-NBA, while Jordan would be stuck on the second team. So you see the standings right here. The Cavs end up grabbing the 3rd seed, while the Bulls would grab the 6th seed. So here in the first round, we have LeBron versus Michael Jordan, and in game 1, LeBron would drop 24, 4, and 5, with Michael Jordan dropping 32, 4, and 2. But the Cavs would take game 1 here in this series, winning 93-86. So it's going to be a crazy series, you already know. And Michael Jordan would come back with a 21, 2, and 2 game, but LeBron would be dominant yet again with 25, 3, and 3. And then just like that, the Cavs would go up 2-0, winning 104-74. But in game 3, MJ would come back with a vengeance, dropping 24, 7, and 6, with Chicago taking game 3, 91-81. And now here in game 4, Bulls are down by 1. MJ has the ball. He's guarded by LeBron. An absolutely insane matchup here in their rookie year, and Michael Jordan would take that in. Now it is LeBron's turn. LeBron gets a chance to game it, send the Bulls home here in the first round in 1984. He's driving, he gets cut off by Michael, and then he ends up missing the game winner, and the Bulls would end up taking game 4 in Chicago. Michael Jordan dropping 33 points. He would not be denied. LeBron did his thing as well, though, dropping 28. So it would all come down to this, a game 5 in the Simcast, and the Bulls would have the early lead. The Cavs would come back in the 3rd quarter, but the Bulls would end up pulling away in the 4th and sending the Cavs home. But as we will see later, that would not be the last matchup we would see in the playoffs of these two. So now we're simulating through the second round of the playoffs. The Bulls are handling the Nets pretty easily, and they would end up winning in 5 games. And they would end up going up against the Boston Celtics here in the conference finals. But unfortunately for the Bulls, they would be eliminated 4-1 by the Celtics. And the Celtics and Larry Bird would go on to win the NBA Finals that year. But as you can see now, LeBron is up to an 87 overall here in the 85 season, and Michael Jordan is up to a 91 overall. So they're pretty close right now in regards to overall. Magic would win yet another MVP, but this time LeBron and MJ would both find themselves on first team All-NBA, and the Cavs would secure the 5 seed, with the Bulls snagging the 8 seed. But unfortunately for the Bulls, they would get first rounded by the Celtics, but the Cavs would have a chance up against the Celtics. An absolutely crazy Celtics team with Larry Bird. It come down to game 6 in Cleveland. The Cavs are down by 1. LeBron's trying to get to the rim. He would miss it. Kevin McHale grabs the board, so the Cavs would have one more chance in this game. Down by 3. Roby 3 misses the shot, and the Cavs would be eliminated by the Celtics. The Celtics just taking names out here. And then the Lakers would end up winning the NBA Finals that year, defeating the Celtics. You see LeBron is up to a 91 overall now, while MJ is still sitting at a 91. So LeBron caught MJ. We simulate through another season. Isaiah Thomas wins MVP. LeBron would yet again be on the NBA first team alongside MJ, but this time the Cavs are the 3rd seed and the Bulls are the 4th seed. But unfortunately for Michael Jordan, he would end up getting first rounded. LeBron would find himself in the Eastern Conference Finals up against a Celtics team that was the 8th seed. So obviously they're losing a little bit of their touch, and the Cavs would end up winning in 5 games. And now they find themselves up against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. And watch out for this Mavericks team, because they would end up having somewhat of a dynasty. You'll just have to see later in the simulation. But here we go. We're going to see what the Cavs can do here in the NBA Finals. The Mavericks would take the first 2 games, but the Cavs would come back, win the next 2. and then the Mavericks would win game 5. So here we are in the Simcast in game 6. LeBron trying to stay alive for his first ring, and he would, but in game 7, LeBron would take over and do his thing and win this game 94-81. And just like that, we have our first ring, and it's coming from LeBron. LeBron gets a ring before Michael Jordan, but stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more championships in this video. So there you have it. The Cavs are the NBA Finals champions with LeBron winning MVP, obviously. But now starting the 1987 season, LeBron is up to a 95 overall, while Michael Jordan really hasn't progressed much and is still a 91. And LeBron would come out and win our first MVP of the simulation as well. But Michael Jordan would still make the All-NBA first team, so he's still having a good career. But the Bulls, unfortunately, would end up getting eliminated along with the Cavs. And like I said, this Mavericks team is crazy, so watch out for them. And now here in the next year in the draft, the Cavs would pick up Steve Kerr and the Bulls would pick up Brian Shaw. And then somehow Michael Jordan would drop down to a 90. I'm not exactly sure, while LeBron is up to a 96 overall. So right now, LeBron is looking like the better player, at least in this simulation. He'd win another MVP. But like I said, the Cavs and the Bulls would meet yet again in the playoffs. The Cavs would take the first 2 games, and then LeBron would come back out and absolutely dominate in game 3, and the Cavs would end up winning game 3 as well. That's a sweep for LeBron. MJ did his thing by dropping 31, but he just didn't have enough help. But that wouldn't really matter because the Cavs would end up getting eliminated. So now we're in the 89-90 season. LeBron is still a 96 overall on the Cavs, but Michael Jordan would join the Magic in free agency. I just let the computer do its thing for all the simulations, so I did not have any type of impact or anything. And now Michael Jordan has a squad with the Magic. So now we're simulating through this season. LeBron would win yet another MVP, but the Cavs would end up with the 4 seed with the Magic as the 2 seed this time. The Cavs would get eliminated very, very early, and the Magic would find themselves in game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, going against the Miami Heat. But here we are in game 7. The Miami Heat have a 2-point lead. Michael Jordan is trying to find his way to the NBA Finals for the first time, but he's down by 4 right now, trying to get a bucket. He gives it down to the big man, and the Magic score, and Michael Jordan would come back down. He would miss this layup, but grab his own board, tip it in, and just like that, it's all tied up. But the Heat would come back down. Aguirre drop stepping them, going into the paint and putting that one in. So now the Magic are down by 2. They need a bucket. They're dribbling the clock out. I don't really know what they're doing. Jordan's open on the wing, but he doesn't pass it to him, and the Magic would end up losing. Michael Jordan going away, not making it to the finals again, and the Heat would go on to win the championship. So now we're simulating through yet another season. LeBron wins another MVP, but that would not really do much as the Cavs would be eliminated early yet again. And for some reason, the Magic would be in the West for this one season, but it really wouldn't matter because they would just get knocked out by this absolutely insane Timberwolves team. And like I said, the Timberwolves had a crazy dynasty in this video for absolutely no reason. But we simulate through the 91 season with David Robinson winning MVP this time. The Cavs would get knocked out early yet again, but Michael Jordan and the Magic would find themselves in the Eastern Conference Finals this time around again, and they would end up winning in 6 games, going up against this crazy Timberwolves team. But in game 7, you see the Timberwolves end up missing that game-winning shot, and Michael Jordan with a full court shot almost puts it away. So in game 7, it's in overtime, it's crunch time. The Mavericks go ahead with Karl Malone and put that one in. It's all tied up at 101. Aguirre again down in the paint, but this time he drops it. So now the Timberwolves obviously need a bucket, but Karl Malone would step out of bounds and they would have to foul, sending Michael Jordan to the free throw line for 2, and we all know he's knocking that down. Larry Bird, who's on the Timberwolves, this crazy team, would shoot and miss, and just like that, Muggsy Bogues, Michael Jordan, and Patrick Ewing would end up winning the NBA Finals, with Patrick Ewing taking home Finals MVP. An absolutely stacked team for Michael Jordan to join, but he did his thing, 18, 10, and 6, and the Magic would win the NBA Finals. So LeBron must have saw what MJ did in last year's offseason and did the same, and joined an absolutely stacked Hornets team with John Stockton, Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Charles Oakley, an absolutely stacked team, and that would lead to LeBron winning yet another MVP in this video, and the Hornets would go 77-5 with LeBron, and the Magic would go 77-6 with Michael Jordan on the team. So an absolutely record-breaking season for both teams, and they would end up obviously meeting in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here it is, 2-2 in the series, or in the Simcast, and the Magic would have the early lead, but the Charlotte Hornets would come back, but at the last second, the Magic would come out with the dub. So here we are in game 6. The Hornets are trying to go to the NBA Finals. They win game 6, but in game 7, LeBron would be a little bit more dominant. than Michael Jordan and come out with an absolutely blowout victory, 103-65, sending the Charlotte Hornets to the NBA Finals up against, yes, the Timberwolves. Again, I told you the Timberwolves are absolutely insane. It's 2-2 here in this series after simulating a few games. So here we are in the Simcast in Game 6. The Hornets are trying to stay alive, and they do, winning 108-90. So here we are, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. LeBron is trying to win his second ring in this video. It'd be a very, very close game throughout, and the Hornets would actually come out with a 90-82 victory. LeBron winning his second Finals MVP in this video. 2 more than Michael Jordan has, I will say, but he only has 1 more ring, but they're both on crazy stacked teams. So, and then after simulating the next season, the Hornets would go 79-3 and the Magic would go 77-5. They're just both on crazy stacked teams. Like, it's not even fair to the rest of the league, but the Hornets would just be way too overpowered. They won 79 games, so you know they're going to the NBA Finals up against, of course, we already know, the Timberwolves, but the Hornets, even for this Timberwolves team, would be a little bit too much. Even though they would tie the series up at 2, the Hornets would come away in Game 6 and actually come out with the win. And just like that, LeBron is securing his 3rd ring in this video. He just has too stacked of a team with Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and just so many other overpowered teammates. And the Hornets would win yet another Finals, with LeBron obviously winning Finals MVP. But as we can see, after simulating through yet another season, the Magic and the Hornets would be the 2 and 3 seed, meeting yet again. Michael Jordan versus LeBron in the playoffs. Simulating Game 1, the Magic would take Game 1. Game 2, the Magic would take Game 2 as well. The Hornets would come back and win Game 3, but the Magic would be a little bit too much for the Hornets in this series, as LeBron would actually be hurt for most of this series. So that could be why the Magic had the edge in this series, but nonetheless, the Magic are back in the Eastern Conference Finals up against this good Heat team. They split the first 2 games. The Magic would end up losing Game 3, but they would come back, win Game 4, lose Game 5. So now here we are in the Simcast in Game 6. The Magic would take a 2-point victory. So here we are in Game 7 in Miami. Michael Jordan trying to find his way back to the NBA Finals to try and tie up LeBron with 3 rings. Michael Jordan only currently has 1, so he needs to win this and get back to the NBA Finals. But anyway, we're here in Game 7 with 20 seconds left. Hakeem is down in the paint on the Heat. He would end up missing that layup, giving the Orlando Magic the chance to go ahead and put this game away. At the line, Muggsy Bogues would make both free throws, and now the Heat have 1 more chance, or else Michael Jordan is going to win the finals. Scottie Pippen throws it up, and he would miss it. This is an absolutely stacked Heat team. Hakeem, Scottie, but the Magic would end up being too much. MJ would defeat his real-life duo in Scottie Pippen and go on to the NBA Finals with a 101-96 victory. Scottie just couldn't do enough with 22 points. Michael Jordan would drop 25, 1, and 3. And here we are in the finals, of course, up against the Timberwolves. We already know this, but the Magic would be too much for the Timberwolves this time around. As you see, they're up 3-0 and going into the Simcast. It's looking like they're going to go ahead and sweep them. They have the early lead. It's a close game, but the Magic would come out with the dub. And just like that, Michael Jordan gets 1 ring closer to LeBron. LeBron currently has 3, and this makes Michael Jordan ring count at 2. But as you see, David Robinson would actually come away with the Finals MVP. So MJ has still yet to win a Finals MVP, but nonetheless, he has 2 rings. Simulated through the 95 season, LeBron would win yet another MVP. And the Magic and the Hornets would find themselves, of course, back in the Eastern Conference Finals up against each other. The Magic, unfortunately, though, for LeBron, would be a little bit too much for them yet again. As you see in Game 4, after being up 3-0, the Magic would go ahead and take the win, 101-86. LeBron and the Hornets just didn't have enough to defeat MJ. And just like that, the Magic would be heading back to the NBA Finals to go for their 3rd ring in this video. But you see, Michael Jordan really didn't do much in this game. He only had 8 points. LeBron only had 14. But here we are in the NBA Finals, the Magic up against, yes, we already know, the Timberwolves. I've said it literally every finals. I don't know why the Timberwolves were so OP in this simulation, but they just were. And this time they would actually sweep Michael Jordan and the Magic and go away with, I think, their 2nd finals victory in this video. So going into the 96-97 season, obviously the Magic and the Hornets are going to have a good season, but the Magic would find their way back in the NBA Finals up against this stacked Timberwolves team yet again. But you see, after simulating the first 4 games, we're all tied up 2-2 in this series. The Magic would take Game 5. So we're going into the Simcast for Game 6. but the Timberwolves would get the most of the magic in game 6. So we're coming down to a game 7. Michael Jordan trying to get his 3rd ring in this video, but the Timberwolves are in his way. It would be a very, very close game in the Simcast, but Michael Jordan and the Orlando Magic would come out with the dub, winning his 3rd ring in this video. Michael Jordan tying LeBron at 3. And you see David Robinson would actually win yet another Finals MVP. Michael Jordan just had way too stacked of a team. But you see the Timberwolves roster right here was just absolutely insane with Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, just so many people. But Michael Jordan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, and Scottie Pippen. Again, I didn't mess with the rosters at all. Those are just the rosters that went when I was simulating. And you see right here in the playoffs, the Magic and the Hornets would meet yet again in a game 6. Michael Jordan and LeBron facing off for one more time in this video, and the Magic would actually end up winning this game. So it would come down to a game 7 one more time. LeBron versus Michael Jordan. We're headed to the Simcast, and it would be a very, very tight game throughout this entire simulation. I kind of wish I would have watched it. LeBron and the Hornets would end up coming out with the dub, and now they would be headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Heat. But unfortunately, they would lose in 7 games. And of course, the Timberwolves would go on to win the NBA Finals. Who else? I decided to end the simulation there because Michael Jordan retired in '98 in real life. So I decided to end it there, cut it off after the '98 season. You can see right here, LeBron for his career averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and almost 2 steals per game. And he'd end up winning 7 MVPs, a 3-time NBA champion, with 3 Finals MVPs. And now moving on to Michael Jordan. Jordan would end up averaging 19 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 2 steals a game. So LeBron would have the better stats, but LeBron and Michael Jordan would both have 3 NBA championships, and they both had about the same amount of All-Star appearances as well. So let me know down below in the comment section who you thought had the better career, Michael Jordan or LeBron. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see another video like it, go ahead and click this video right here where I see what would happen if Shaq stayed on the Magic his entire career.